or do you have a game plan in your head?
My game plan is getting up early as tomorrow. I'm sorry if I was last swear, sorry. Wake up early tomorrow, get up playing 7 o'clock, go see my baby girl. I miss her all week. Celebrate my birthday on, what's today, 15th? I think Wednesday, the 19th. And just enjoy life for now. Heal up, and then we'll figure it out from there, man. I got the rest of the summer to hang out and enjoy the pool, and I got my new Traeger girl, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, enjoy your victory, enjoy your time off, enjoy your family, enjoy your birthday, and enjoy the fact that you're the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. Congratulations to you, sir.
Hey, no, thank you. And by the way, that fanny peg is fantastic.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Thanks, means a lot, dude. Thank you.
My pleasure, brother. Thank you.
See you.
Stipe excited to go home to his wife and his daughter Mila, who is 2. And it is Wednesday, Stipe. You'll be 38, but what a win for the consensus greatest UFC heavyweight of all time.
Time is money, friend. Keep it real. Have a good one.
Relax. You be careful, man. Stay away from them.
Let's talk about this. Last night, we are in Pennsylvania, in
Royersford,
Pennsylvania. Shout out to Soul Joel Comedy Club, Soul Joel Productions. I've known Soul Joel a long time. That guy, he's a hustler.
Can we announce something? Soul Joel, white guy.
Yeah, Soul Joel. Oh, yeah, no soul. The man's got no soul.
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
Yeah. And there's no... Yeah, Soul Joel is not a... you had never met Soul Joel. You thought you were meeting a black guy named Soul Joel.
I 100% thought I was meeting a black man in a paisley suit.
You thought it was like DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yes.
You're like, okay, Soul Joel, Jazzy Jeff. I get it. All right. No. Soul Joel's a white guy who I think still does comedy, produces these shows, has been producing shows for as long as I've been doing comedy, essentially. I've known this guy.
He sounds like a peak white trash Pennsylvania guy.
Yeah. But look.
In the best way.
Good enough guy.
I have a Wawa tattoo. So.
Do you have a Wawa tattoo? Has Jay seen your Wawa tattoo?
Yeah.
Does he lick it every time he sees your arm?
No, but he does want to get one, and as he should.
It's actually kind of a cool tattoo, not for nothing. I wanted to hate it, but it's cool because the problem is you don't know that it's Wawa.
Exactly.
It just looks like an emo, like fucking Brooklyn hipster fucking chick tattoo.
Fucking poem bird or whatever,
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this girl's garbage. I love it.
Exactly.
There we go. All right, sweet. There you go. Christina Hutchinson. Find that's a little bit garbage. I dig it. So, yeah, this guy produces these shows. He's great. He's been producing shows for a long time. He took really good care of us, and I suggest everyone support his shows because he's one of the guys who, has been booking guys like us for as long as, I've been doing comedy. Like, I was doing Soul Joel gigs before I was ready to be doing gigs on the road, right? He was booking guys like Kurt Metzger and Big J and Vecchione and fucking, 12 years ago, before these guys were names and known as being guys that you should be headlining, right? So I have respect for those guys that sort of have that insight. And, he's fucking doing great. He's got fucking sponsors. He sold like a local dentist sponsor on the stage. I'm like, this guy's just me, but he's just doing it in a small shit town.
Yeah.
I want to live that life.
We need people like him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He just needs to move to a big city. Just change it instead of a fucking dentist
say-
contact blue chew. There's a way to do this.
Stay in Royersford.
Yeah, he can be the king of Royersford.
He is.
So, this show is outdoors. It's essentially, there's no way to describe this except for they built a stage that's way too tall. The stage, for no reason,
It's way too tall and pretty narrow.
it's a little. You can pull up a picture of the stage, Shannon, because there's pictures on Instagram. People that have tagged us in it. I know for a fact. This stage is just too tall. It's like a little. Yeah. Look at it. Look how tall the stage is.
Looks like a shitty Warped Tour stage.
Yes, that's what it is. Like
No,
your
it's
side
100%
stage,
what it is.
side stage Warp Tour, but tiny, like a little tiny box. You remember, this is going to be a very specific reference for a very specific sect of our fan base, but Zach's going to appreciate it. I want to say it was WrestleMania 6, where they were bringing everyone out on little individual pro wrestling floats.
Yes.
That's what the guys came out on. Do you remember this?
Yeah, it was like a little ring that you came.
Yeah, a little float, but it was a ring, and they would come out and they would bring the competitors out. For 1 year, they're like, there's no reason to do this. Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, they did this. Then WrestleMania 8, they decided to go to Caesars in Vegas, and they dressed everybody up in fucking robes and fucking.
It was a lot of bad ideas.
Whenever that era was, they were like, we got to try something new. The wrestling's just not cutting it.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So regardless, this is what the stage reminded me of. It was this little tiny float. And then it was in the middle of a field. And in the middle of that field, for absolutely no reason, there is a gigantic sand pit.
Yeah.
Just sand.
They just made a
horseshoes.
beach.
They made a beach. Did they bring in the sand for this stage, the summer series? I have
don't
no
know.
idea. I think they had this idea that they were like, we're going to do like a tropical
You can
outdoor.
sit on a towel. That's sweet.
Yeah.
No, that's what people had beach chairs and towels.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And actually, after you had vacated, they were going and covering that sand with tarp. So I think that sand is like,
That sand is the comedy club sand.
yeah.
That's not naturally
Comedy
occurring
sand.
sand in the middle of a field.
So Pennsylvania.
This is, dude, I'm telling you. Now, let me say this. The show itself was really good.
Went pretty goddamn good.
Our fans are awesome. They're all these fucking dirty Legion of Skanks fans in a field sitting in the sand.
It was
BYOB.
It was BYOB and BYOC. Bring your own chair.
Oh, okay.
Oh, bring your own Coke. I thought you
Yeah,
meant,
I
like,
thought it
that's
was Coke.
also the case.
Coke, correct.
So this is before they built the stage. So this is what it was like initially, right? But then they built that stage. I will say it's better than that. I'd
Yeah.
rather have that stage.
I much rather, yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, in retrospect,
Would have been safer.
stage was way too tall.
Yeah.
Stage was way too tall. I got to be honest with you. So, Zach does his set. I do my set. Now, I don't know if they were even being that rowdy during you.
A little bit.
They were getting drunker and rowdier.
Yeah. So we showed up a little after the show was about to start. And people seemed like they had dug in their heels a little bit already.
Well, there was sand. It's
And,
difficult to know.
well, I think they were doing some real drinking.
They were probably barefoot.
They were drinking and they were rowdy, and they're our fans. So the problem with our fans, and anybody who's been to Skankfest knows this, you have to let when you're dealing with a drunk Legion of Skanks crowd. I'm assuming it's similar to like the old Stern crowds. They talk about the Stern crowds, and I think this is what they mean. And I used to be afraid of them, and then I realized I was like, oh, that's our crowd. That's just our crowd.
Yeah.
It's not a scary crowd. What you have to do is you have to either completely ignore the people drunkenly calling stuff out and act like it's like a loud fucking like fan in the room or a loud just
Don't egg them on.
yeah. Or you have to engage them the same way that I do or Jay does, where you're doing crowd work, where you're fucking with them. And I like crowd work. I got 15 new minutes of material, and I love doing crowd work right now. Trust me, I do a lot of crowd work.
Yeah.
I do crowd work very differently than Jay. Jay is very sweet. He's very lovable. For me, I'm abrasive as fuck. If somebody's fucking with my show, I'm trying to make the crowd laugh, but I will threaten violence upon that person. I will fucking, I'm gonna just go to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Does that ever make it worse? Or does that work for you?
It usually works. People,
Shuts them up?
I'm abrasive, so
Yeah.
it's like my comedy itself is abrasive. I think people get it, and for the most part, if it's our crowd, they're on our side.
Right.
So I go up there and I'm fucking just doing my thing, and people are being really sort of like just interrupting a lot, and it's a lot of fans that are nice. They're not being
They're
shitty.
nice, and then there's some people. So like, there's peripheral people that keep yelling shit, but there's this one group
Yeah.
directly in front of the stage.
Now, by the way, I don't even notice that they're being that shitty.
Okay, I know them.
I found
I
out-
noticed that.
How are they shittier than the others? Just loudest?
They weren't. Well, here's the thing. One of the group was a fan. The rest of the people in the group were not a fan.
That's a dangerous group.
What I found out after the father of the culprits was a fan of Legion of Skanks. And
Huge comedy fan in general. I think they have been coming to the festival this entire time.
the whole family.
More or less, I believe so. Or somebody. So, like, I think the dad got, like, the 2-week pass.
To Skankfest.
No, to this
Soul
comedy
Joel
festival.
Comedy Outdoor
Okay.
Beach in a Field Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Go support it. I'm not hating. Support
Yeah, no.
the festival.
Yes.
Jessica Curson was there last week. Mark Norman was there a couple weeks ago.
Attell's
Joe List is
there.
coming
I've
up.
heard
Attell's
great
coming up.
things about it.
It's fucking cool.
And it's getting a lot of buzz with the comics here.
Yeah, because it's a fun.
It was
it's
good.
It's not bad at all. It's a really
Yeah.
fun show, right? So I don't even notice, but apparently they're getting shitty with me. The girl in the group that's really drunk, she apparently at one point during my set leaves, and she's like, "Fuck this guy, fuck Pennsylvania," because they're laughing at this shit.
Okay, first of all, I would like to note this chick's tits were out.
Delightful.
Nipples?
Like, no, but I mean,
Floppy.
at a fucking drop of a hat, these things are coming out.
Wow. So she was like yelling.
And she was going nuts because I noticed the boobs first,
Of course.
and
Sorry, Christina.
but all I could think was, wow, this girl came for everyone to watch her today.
Yeah.
With her
This
dad.
is an issue.
Yeah.
Anytime a chick comes to a comedy show dressed super provocative like that, you gotta watch them. Because in their mind, they were like, I can't wait till the comedian talks to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
they
going to
think
give
they
him the business.
they have power.
No, by the time
Power.
here's the thing. By the time Jay goes on stage, the crowds are right now. It's getting dark.
Yeah.
The crowds, I'm engaging them in a way, and
And she's over at the porta potty yelling, fuck Pennsylvania.
yeah. I didn't even notice this.
Oh, I was watching all this.
I had no
hate
idea.
Pennsylvania. All these people are racist. And
Yes.
then at one point during your set, she yelled at the crowd, "You're all pro-rape."
What? Oh, come
No, you're all pro rapists.
Yeah, no,
she
but
missed.
she meant
Yeah,
professional.
Yeah, they're all pro rapists. Yes, she wasn't wrong about that.
Yes.
So Jay goes on stage. Now Jay is way more charming. Jay is just such a funny, like, lovable guy. So Jay at this point, but he also smells that she sucks, right? But he in his own way is just doing the thing where he's like leading her into making a fool of herself. And Jay's the best at crowd work probably in the
he does
business.
it gently. That's
Very
his rub.
gently.
Yes.
He's not like, fuck this bitch. Like,
Yep.
That's sort of my energy. Jay is like, really like just so, he's like butter, baby. Jay understands how to do crowd work like nobody else. And I'm watching this girl just get dunked on, like over and over and over again.
I mean, and really
What's he saying? What's Jay saying?
So it got to the point where she called Jay a Trump supporter, right? And he's like, first of all, I'm not, but like, even if I was, who cares? And she's like, everyone supports Trump, it's racist. And then she's going into this thing, and then she's saying she's dating a black guy. And, Jay, you tell Jay
her
that a
exact
white girl's
words
dating
were,
a black guy.
She goes, I have a black baby inside me right now.
Yeah. And she's hammered.
And she's hammered.
Yeah. So.
And her dad is on the same.
Her
is
family.
Her
Whole family.
father. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
God.
Jay's trashing her, and I don't even remember what the words were, but at one point, like, they're sort of going back and forth, and it's playful enough. You can tell she's getting annoyed, but she's just like, she's being embarrassed. And the crowd's laughing at her, like, hard. And at one point, she just starts crying, hysterically crying.
She's pregnant.
Crying is not the right term. Have you ever seen a toddler who can't get out of the high chair?
Yeah.
So they just start screaming and flailing.
Like they're gonna explode.
That's what she was doing.
Yeah,
She was screaming
yeah.
and flailing.
Yeah.
She's so frustrated and so mad. Now, everyone, while she's going, ah, ah, ah,
Yeah.
ah, now, the crowd cackling at her. I'm talking the whole crowd, like, stomping their feet, pointing and laughing like,
Oh, you're cackling
They're-
at a triggered girl.
Dude, they
Oh,
want
God.
to puke. It's so funny that this girl, like, Jay's not even being mean, by the way. Jay,
Right.
I wish
She's
we
taking
had.
care
I
of
wish
it.
we had video, and probably somebody did tape. Dude, Jay wasn't even being mean.
Jay literally got her to say, "No, I like you. I didn't like him," talking about Lois.
Yes,
She goes, "No, I like you. I don't like the last guy."
which makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on brand.
So, dude, she freaks out. Her friends,
Even a broken clock.
yeah,
Oh
her
my
friend. Fuck you, Zach, you son of a bitch.
Pew pew.
So her friends pull her out.
Her mom and I think her aunt,
yeah,
and she starts hitting her mom.
she's just a mess.
This is This is some Pennsylvania shit.
Now, if this whole time I'm side stage trying to start a na-na-na, hey, goodbye chant,
Yes.
nobody is jumping in.
Yeah, Lewis has the comedy fortitude to be near the stage for this.
Oh yeah.
of
Well,
course.
the other thing is, I saw that Jay was getting crazy with the chicken. I was like, I need to go near the stage because I need to see and hear everything. I'm behind the stage. 'cause
Well,
the
and everyone's
stage-
laughing at her at this point.
Oh, it's the best. So
center.
I'm watching it like from behind the stage, which I don't even know what. Maybe it was my fucking comedy fucking intuitions that this was going to be a situation, but I'm right next to the stage, which I wouldn't have. Like Zach is a whole football field away.
I'm where the Tito's vodka is. I have
Priorities.
parked myself
Zach's
next to the
sitting
vodka.
there. There's fans surrounding him. Zach's like the fat man at a circus.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I could not care less. I am not involved in the show.
Zach is just in his own little circus world with a few fans that are happier to see him. They didn't give a fuck about me and Jay.
That's
They're
so
standing there
sweet.
drinking with Zach, giving us drugs. So this girl leaves, okay, and now
dragged away?
She's on the way to the park. She's too drunk, obviously. She's gone. Now there's a guy there with them. There's a pretty big guy that was a problem during my set. But I sort of was playful with, and it was never a problem. But he was sort of once again, her and this guy were both just drunk dickheads. They were obnoxious.
She kept getting up and like going towards the porta potty, and he would drag her back.
Oh, she hates. She hates Pennsylvania because
It was
she
a real
is Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, she said I hate Pennsylvania. Jay goes, "Where are you from?" She was Reading.
Oh my God, that's
Which makes sense.
God,
Yeah,
that
it
makes
makes
so
sense.
much sense.
So at that point,
So much sense.
it's kind of calming down. It all happened so fast. So
A lot of people, myself included, are watching this chick hit her mother.
yeah,
How hard is she hitting her mom?
I didn't say it, so I don't know.
She's like slapping at her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just garbage.
Yeah,
So
real piece of garbage.
the big guy gets up. Now I say big. He's big.
Yeah.
6'4", maybe.
Whoa.
Muscly fucking like football player type guy, like big fucking dude. And I see him start to beeline toward the stage. And he goes, "That's my fucking sister." And I see that. And I was like, oh, this guy's going to come to the stage to fight Jay. I just see it. So I'm behind the stage, just sort of like watching.
There's stairs behind the stage.
There's stairs
to get
behind the
up on
stage.
top.
So I'm behind the stage kind of just watching, going like, what's going on here? And I see him approach Jay. And I see him reach out, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's not even getting on the stage. He's just gonna fucking do something." I don't even know why. I have no idea why my instinct kicked in right there and then, because I was kind of watching like, all right, this guy's gonna probably get on stage, and if that's a problem, I'll fucking tackle this guy and fucking whatever, right? But what he did was he grabbed Jay's ankles.
From behind or from front?
So
front.
Jay's sitting
Damn.
on a stool
Yeah.
on the edge of the stage, kind of his legs almost hanging off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy pulls. Now, if Jay had an ass, it may have stopped him.
Yeah. No, Jay,
But
Jay's
the point from the back
He's
of
leg
Jay's
heavy.
sneakers to the top of his head is a 180-degree line.
it's very shiny and slippery.
It's straight.
It feels like slip and slide material.
Yeah.
If you feel any of Jay's backside, very
Yeah.
If you push
Wet
Jay
and-
down a slip and slide, he would never stop.
Right. Right.
Just go eternally fast.
Yeah.
So the guy pulls, and it's a straight line. So Jay just, whoosh, just fucking,
slips off the
yeah,
stage.
ankle, thigh, ass back.
Yeah.
And that was what was in that video that Ari
the video.
posted, because that was a
you can
very
pull the video,
quick
because
yank.
at that point, because I'm already running.
Yes.
And I'm slow. I don't have the speed. But
Can't run.
I see him grabbing Jay's ankles. So what I was doing, I was running and I was trying to kick him in his cheekbone.
Ooh,
so if you
nice.
see the video, you'll see what's going on here. You'll say. I go to kick him in the cheekbone, and then Jay's off the stage.
Because it looks like someone from behind kicked Jay's
Shanoon, if you go to
stool.
Reddit, somebody actually slowed it down.
Oh, that's
so you
good.
can see it in the order of events.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that yet. That's me coming from behind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people thought somebody came from the stage, somebody
That's what
pushed him
I
off the
thought.
stage. That's not what happened.
You came as soon
I
as his
came
ankles
to
were
try to
gonna
kick
grab.
this guy's fucking cheekbone in.
And did you
because
miss?
I missed. Yeah,
Okay.
he had already pulled Jay down on top of him. Now it's like
It was poor strategy.
it's
Yeah,
like
that is a bad
It's like when an
strategy.
old
In
person
hindsight-
kills himself with a bookshelf.
Right.
That's what happened.
That typical method, yeah.
This one's a little bit better.
Let's see.
You can
See-
see you better.
Oh, shit.
Well, rewind it a little bit. Watch it from the beginning. Let's see.
That's it.
Yeah, there.
See,
it
I
is.
see he grabs
Wow,
Jay's
that's
ankle.
a
I go to
fast
fucking,
yank.
And then I jump off stage and I simply say, "Sir, unhand my friend.
That's exactly what
Yeah,
I remember.
right.
Please."
Did Jay fall on top of this dude?
Yeah, he fell right
Nice.
on top of him. Like
You know
he's-
how they say like 3 people
Look,
died?
he's under him. You see him. You see him
Yeah.
like Jay
Wow.
lands in mount.
Yeah.
Truly the
you know
worst
they say,
strategy.
Like 3 people die a year when a vending machine falls off. This guy's just flailing and there's like Fritos and Snickers bars falling on his face.
So, at that point, I go down and I'm like, "Stop, sir, please." And all the fans surround and they're like, "No, please, you're hurting him." And I think apparently he maced himself.
Or no, I think
What an
he had
ass.
bad allergies.
He did have bad allergies. His eyes were starting to leak.
Yeah,
and
he had
nose
bad
was-
allergies, and I think he like tripped and fell. He looked like hurt.
He did look hurt afterwards, which was strange because nobody put their hands on him that I saw. I
Yeah.
simply saw people trying to get him off Jay, and trying to
Separate them,
which was crazy. So then that whole melee happens, and then he like gets up and goes over there, and me, I'm just a Puerto Rican in a field.
Yeah. That's where they're
Send
born.
your
That's
name of your
where they
album.
die.
Now, where are you, Zach? Are you still by the Tino's?
Zach still sits.
No, I'm
Still
holding
doesn't give a
you.
shit?
You were holding me.
I was the one holding you when the cops were there.
Oh, that's
You're not
sweet.
strong enough to hold me. Impossible.
Holding him back from punching somebody?
No,
had
I
you-
would never. From yelling Morse.
Yeah, he was
you hurt
yelling.
my friend,
Oh.
sir.
Yes, I had 2 arms wrapped around Lewis as he yelled that man should not hurt Jay.
Racist live chat. Let's see. J. Ron says Lewis runs like he's stepping on hot coal. Very interesting observation. Racist live chat.
Ooh, owie, ah, ooh.
Get off my friend.
So then police arrive
How long after?
pretty quick.
Yeah,
Nice.
pretty quick. Like 5-10 minutes they were there, and he tried to dip off. The
And
guy.
so this guy's got people kind of holding him, but then he's got family with him. The cops come, and I'm not going to criticize how police do their job.
You can.
They immediately just saw Jay and were like, what did this fucking guy do?
Yeah.
Because they...
Not the bald, skinhead looking guy?
No, the hometown boy. They liked him.
Yeah, they immediately, they're yelling at Jay, like, listen, you got something out here with something like alcohol, you're going to get fights, there's nothing you can do about it.
Whoa.
And
And
they're
then-
being sort of like, he said, she said, who's
Yeah, they're
this
like, they go,
word,
there's
that
3
word.
sides to every story.
What are you
Like,
talking about? There's 150 witnesses. It's on video.
Yeah.
This guy was attacked.
So then the
So
shit
because their version
yeah.
was that the guy started talking shit on stage, Jay jumped off the stage and maced him. That's
Yeah.
what
Oh
they
my
said
God.
happened.
So this guy tries to dip then, and I go to the cop who's talking to Jay. I go, hey, that's the guy, and he's getting away. And the cop goes, he's taking a walk.
Okay.
I went, he's fucking trying to run away.
Yeah.
And like now everybody's chasing the guy.
Yeah.
And they put him up against somebody's car.
Loyal fans.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's nice.
He's like,
Now, what is this guy's family saying?
Oh, the
Sorry,
dad-
my
oh my
son.
God. Let me handle the dad.
Please, go ahead.
All right. So while now people are filling out reports, I don't know what happened because now I'm doing PR work of my own.
Puerto Rican work.
Yes. I'm dusting. I'm vacuuming the sand.
He's putting the tarp over his
Raking
head.
it?
No, I'm talking to people and thanking them for coming and going, sorry, this went shitty. And,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep a million
Spirits
people
up.
from going over there.
Now me, I'm standing by Jay, Christine, and the cops, just eyeballing the guy and mouthing, "You're fucking dead, bitch."
Yeah.
And now, is he just standing there? Is he
He's
on the
slumped
floor?
on a car.
Slumped on a
Yeah.
car.
The cops keep on telling me
Is
to
he
stop talking to him.
surrounded?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
makes
the
sense.
cops
being a
keep
Puerto
on-
Rican.
The cops keep on telling him to stop exacerbating the situation.
They're no fun.
So now the dad is on a press tour with every single group of people that were at the show.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he gives the same speech to me, Mattern, and like somebody else. How he's come to the whole festival. He's a big comedy fan.
Big Skanks fan.
Yeah. Loves the show.
Oh, man.
But his daughter is bipolar and an alcoholic, and she shouldn't be out, and she's an asshole.
Yeah.
And she was, and my son, he was all right, but then he moved to L.A. and started doing this porn thing, and now, he just thinks he can do whatever he wants, and he really needs this night in jail, because, ever since he started doing this porn thing, I mean, he's just disrespectful to everybody.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you, I'm sorry, both my kids are real fucking assholes.
Yeah, he told me, he was
I
like,
love
listen,
him.
he was like, just so you know, when I brought my kid over the car, he was like, I punched him in the face 3 times myself. Don't worry, I'm on your side. The dad was the fucking man.
Holy shit, this guy
the dad rules.
He
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll tell you right now. The dad.
He's a real life dude. He's got a bad attitude. One might feel he's rude. He's a real life dude.
And just dumb as a brick. He literally goes, both my kids are fucking assholes. And I go, well, sir, that in no way reflects upon you. And he goes, thank you.
That's sweet.
Yeah. The dad was cool. I'll chill with the dad.
Sounds like it.
Here's what's funny is like, all right, so the guy's in jail now. The guy, like an idiot, he's giving out his porn producer business card to everybody at the show.
Before all this happens.
All this happens. So
Promoting-
now the
promoting
fans,
what?
the
You wanna make a
fans
That
have,
he manages OnlyFans accounts?
he had my idea.
OnlyFans
By the way, this
have
guy would be my friend. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm trying to become an OnlyFans pimp, and I would do more for these women than this
Louis,
fucking
you're
guy.
doing so much already.
I made a joke on this show months ago that I wanted to become an OnlyFans pimp, being like, no, nobody would actually do that. That's what this guy is.
Yeah.
This guy goes to girls that are either on OnlyFans or just hot young chicks that are impressionable and convinces them that he'll manage and optimize their OnlyFans.
How?
I'm assuming he tries to fuck them, takes pictures of them, and then he manages the social side of it. Which, to be honest with you, there is an aspect there. If somebody really understood that market, there's a value there. The same
Yeah,
way
they
you hire
understood
somebody
it.
to produce a podcast,
Right.
you know, you could, but this guy's not that guy. This guy's a fucking meathead who just wants to be around fucking hot chicks, right?
Yeah.
But the joke that I made, the same way that I made up fucking the topless miniature golf course, the same joke that I made about like what type of douchebag would do this fucking job, he does that job. He's an OnlyFans manager. That's what he does. And he gave out his business card to all of these girls, or I'm sorry, to all these fans at the show. All the fans then just went onto Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and posted his business card with his phone number,
You can't.
his email, his fucking everything. And so now they're just, they started calling his phone. His mom started answering the phone. Like, and I'm not encouraging this. I'm not, I tweeted out a joke being like, oh, I got this guy's phone number. Should I share it? Because somebody sent me the business card. And I was
Right.
just kidding. I wasn't going to share it. And then everyone just responded with like, you mean this phone number? And then
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I deleted it. I was like, oh, shit. I was kidding. I was just joking. I don't believe, here's the thing. This is the way that I feel about it when it's all said and done. Jay's not hurt. I'm not hurt. I don't think this guy's really hurt, you know.
He was hurt a long time ago.
For me, it's sort of like water under the bridge. I don't need for it to be anything more than that. You know, the guy doesn't have to be fucking attacked. He's drunk. When you really consider the moment, what he's doing is he's an idiot. He's wrong. He's drunk. You shouldn't put your hands on anybody. He's trying to defend his stupid fat sister's honor. You know what I'm saying? So he's just what he's trying to do in his own fucking retarded
Is
meathead
noble.
mind. Yes. So I get it, but it's like it's just the wrong shit. We're not these nerdy comedians. Like if that happened to Joe List would have just gotten his ass kicked, and the fans would have been like, "Oh, yeah, this is too
This is weird.
Yeah, comedy Tuesday. Yeah, like it's just not the fan base or the guys to go and attack. We're not going to like let you just physically attack us. So you know,
Jay said it was like when Pee Wee Herman knocked down all the motorcycles.
Yes.
Wee.
And it was just sort of crazy. And he could have been really hurt. To be honest, he's lucky that our fan base isn't actually a bunch of savages because he could have been really hurt, dude. We have certain fans that are like straight up juggalos that carry fucking like blades in a fucking like sock and shit.
Yeah.
Like there are people that are like crazy out there that do stupid shit in the moment of being, you know, adrenaline kicks in. You feel justified that you're being hurt or your friend is being hurt.
You want to stand up for something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy, you know, could have really gotten hurt. So he's lucky that didn't happen. Then also number two, or really number one, he could have fucking killed Big J. You have to understand how high that stage was because the cops were trying to downplay it, and I was like, no. I was like, this guy, what he did was so irresponsible. It wasn't like just fight. Look, you swing on a guy, get into a fight with somebody. Shit happens.
If he would have hit his head
Yeah.
on that stage,
Done.
you could have died.
Jay
you could have been
weighs
paralyzed. You
300
could have been-
pounds. He
Yeah.
would have broke his fucking neck if he would have went
Did
head
he
first.
get injured?
I don't think so, but he adrenaline kicks in. You don't know what.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
his knees, ankles, who knows? You know how he is today. I'm gonna call him after this. But it could have been really fucking bad. You could paralyze somebody. You can kill somebody. For that guy to do that, that guy needs a fucking night to cool off in jail because he needs to go. Oh shit! I can't do something. It's fighting in general is irresponsible.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sitting here. You know, I'm not above anything. I'm an idiot sometimes too. We all make stupid mistakes. but I would never do something that could possibly cause that much damage. You know, could really fucking hurt somebody that way. You know, best case scenario, you fucking, break their arm. I mean, like, literally, what are you doing in
And
that
the only
case?
thing you're going to get out of it at the end of the day is an ego boost, and that's not going to sustain you. You're going to have to punch somebody else in a month to get another one.
Yeah, that guy fucking sucked. But, at the end of the day, I don't think the fans should be attacking him. Apparently, they posted it on the Facebook group, and they started posting on his wall, and the sister chimed in, and they're just like, shut up, you fat cunt.
Oh, boy.
Like, they don't give a shit, dude. Like, I will stand up for racism every time. Like, we're turning it into that. So.
And you guys have to go to court? Does that mean you're pressing charges?
Apparently, we have to go to court if we want to pursue it. The cop's like, we're going to put him in. You guys got to come back to Pennsylvania to court. It's like, no, I'm probably
Sign me up.
I'm probably not going back.
Do a gig.
I'll go back.
Make a gig out of it.
I'll go back. It depends on how far Jay wants to pursue it. Like, if Jay's hurt in any way, like, I think we probably, but I think the guy need to fucking cool off. Once I found out the dad was a fan and he was a nice guy, I just sort of feel bad for the dad.
Yeah,
and I was
did
like,
too.
but then you also got to say, like, look, dude, you raised 2 shitty kids.
The
I don't
dad
know
also was saying, I hope I can still come to the rest of the festival.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, he doesn't give a shit about his kids. He just wants to not be banned.
So it's just like,
I hope I'm not banned from this field.
yeah, I think I don't know. The dad, it is his responsibility. You said it when you walked in here, Christina. Like, my kid's never gonna be that guy.
Never, yeah.
Who grabs somebody and fucking pulls them off the stage and tries to be this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my kid will just one day take a shift and turn into a irresponsible, mean dickhead.
You have to at least witness some kind of violence to be capable of doing that, or allowing yourself to yank a giant man
He's
off
just
of
a
a
big
high
fucking
stage.
bully. But that guy
Yeah.
was, I'm telling you right now, that guy was a big fucking bully because he was a big guy, fucking muscly guy, probably a football player or something like that. He wasn't a small guy by any means. And to have the attitude like, oh, no, I'm just going to come up and fucking grab you. And that's not the first time he did shit like that.
Yeah.
That's this fucking guy. You know these guys in college. They're the dickheads who get into fights at bars.
The Central PA people who never left. Well, they go to LA to do porn and then they come back
Right.
to PA.
You go down to the West Village. He's the typical meathead at Off the Wagon in the West
Yes,
Village.
Off the Wagon.
That's
Yeah.
getting into a fight with 3 guys every night. If you want to go just people watch when the bars are back open, go to right next to the Comedy Cellar. We used to just sit in front of the Comedy Cellar and watch fights happen at Off the Wagon because it's every dumb dickhead who just moved here. You hear it's a college bar with hot chicks. So anybody who's sort of in that
All dudes.
yeah, that mindset of like, oh, what's a cool college bar where all the hot chicks are at? Like, oh, you got to go to Off the Wagon. That's that guy, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's just ready for sort of that situation. But I think that he thought it's a bunch of sort of like, it's not like the fans aren't. It's not like they're not nerdy, but they're not like an intimidating.
Believe it or not, that Stipe. Stipe.
Fight for it. Fight for it.
Believe it or not, that happened once I lost.
Usually when I walk out, I get someone going, you suck, So it's kind of nice not to hear that. Been a decade? Really?
I mean, you haven't been, champion 10 years, but all the top guys who've been competing.
Dagger
are in
by
it.
bro. Oh, Jesus.
What is the reception like when you go back to the Firehouse in Cleveland?
They on me more than anyone ever on me in my life. They make me do things I don't want to do. And it's all awesome.
And what about Cleveland? Not a lot of success on the sports side over the years.
Apparently they got a heavyweight champion that's winning a lot of titles.
Champion. There you go. That's what I'm saying. So now to put
you should
yourself
sit down
there,
now for that comment. I'm joking. I mean, come on. The Browns are looking to look good. Hopefully we have a season this year. I'm telling you. Listen, Kevin, I will take you down. There'll be another fight tonight. You and me. Yeah, I mean, I'll fight. Listen, like I said, I'll fight anyone. Because I'm about to fight Kevin here if he keeps talking. Apparently I'm old. Everyone thinks I'm retiring. He's like, you guys even want me here? Like, you guys always talking about retirement. Let me be.
How you doing, sir?
Nice mustache.
Oh, thank you. I have a question for you, but where's your mustache? You had a great one.
I know. It's called the wife, and she doesn't feel it sometimes. Ooh. Yeah, like it starts like a Tom Selleck, and it just kind of gets out of control, and then you know what? I'm gonna go back out.
You're the champ. You can do what you want.
I can do what I want. I'm the alpha of my house, not really, but yes, I'm gonna try.
It's too far away. The painting isn't ready yet. I don't have enough energy. I can't do that yet.
To that guy, they're not intimidating. I think our fan base is intimidating to maybe like a young woke chick who doesn't understand what like Legion of Skanks fans are.
Yeah, yeah.
Our fans are autistic, podhead, nervous,
nice
sweethearts.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But they're not like they wear black T-shirts and they look like metalheads. They look like they're aggressive. They look like they can be violent or into crazy shit. But for the most part, that's an act. Like guys who wear Cannibal Corpse T-shirts, which will have like a baby like decapitated on it with blood. You're like, oh, that's scary.
Yes, yeah.
Those guys are wimps. Those guys are never ever tough. They're not the guys who could get into a fight. They've always been bullied. They've never gotten into a fight, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that our fan base, they more fall into that category of sort of like nerdy guys, not really tough guys. It's not like the Joe Rogan fan base.
Yeah, I got in once I understood that about your fans specifically was at Skankfest over the summer when a bunch of female comics were crowd surfing after goddamn Comedy Jam,
Yeah.
and they all were like, they didn't even touch my butt, and I'm like, what?
They go out of their way to not.
Yeah.
Like your butt's the only thing they're not touching.
And
Your
it's,
boobs.
it's
like,
a safe place. I feel very safe with your fans.
Our fan base, they're very, very respectful. They're not like aggressive assholes like that.
No.
They just like dirty jokes and fucked up humor. This guy, I just know the type of guy he is. He's an alpha fucking, jockey type guy. He's not intimidated by a metalhead looking guy. He's like, he knows, he was in high school with these guys. He's like, oh, it's a fucking goth kid. I'll fucking spit in his fucking chocolate milk, right? So that, he didn't think, he was like, oh shit, I'll just go and fucking do this, punch this guy, walk out, like, yeah, take that, fucking idiots. And it's like,
yeah.
Was
he like carried away in cuffs? Angry? Was he angry? Did he end the evening angry?
No, he went into nice white guy mode with the cops right away, which is probably my fault why the cops were even questioning us, because I was just...
At one point, Lewis, I thought, was trying to intimidate the guy
by doing
or make fun of him and insinuate he was being a gorilla. But then I realized Lewis was just angrily making gorilla sounds.
Yeah, no, it was
just because.
I thought he was going, yeah, what are you going to do? But then I realized Lewis was just going, oh, that's just what he was doing.
That's just how it comes out for you.
When I'm angry, I can't control myself. I can't control my
he
words.
Was making noises.
I get very Puerto Rican. I get very like I start saying like thuggy phrases. I really will.
Pacing.
Yeah. And every time the guy would look over at us, I would just have to make another like, what? Do something, bitch. Let's go. You want to do something? Fucking these cops are here, bitch. I told the cop, I was like, how about you just give us 5 minutes with him instead? And we'll
That's
literally
an even trade, yeah.
Just let me and Big J fucking kick the shit out of this guy for 5 fucking minutes. That's all I wanted to do. The cops were like, no dice.
So did they go up to him with Jay tried to mace you kind of thing? Who's pushing that narrative? The cops automatically assume that?
Well, they said, I guess somebody used pepper spray on the guy, which, by the way, honestly, if a fan or security or whoever did, this guy is a massive fucking guy who's attacking people.
Exactly.
Good. I got to be honest with you. If somebody had the wherewithal to say this guy needs to fucking be taken down, he's attacking people in an extremely dangerous way, that's the situation where you use something like that.
Yes, because somebody who does that might have a knife or something.
Exactly. And let me tell you something. I have no idea who it was. What happened was I thought the cops maced him when I heard he was maced. And then I heard that security maced him. And then nobody knew who maced the guy or pepper sprayed him or whatever it was. But he also could have been lying about that as well, because if you spray pepper spray or mace in an area, multiple people get caught with that.
Right.
Right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just pepper spray.
It's in the air.
I didn't smell anything. I was right fucking there. I was the first person right there to make sure that he wasn't hurting my friend, quietly and respectfully telling him to stop. So I feel like he was even just bullshitting just to say that.
Were his eyes red?
Yeah, they were pouring water in his eyes.
Okay. Maybe he was just crying.
Maybe he was a little bitch.
Values being lowered, all of these things happening,
energy. I need to get closer. Don't have enough energy. It's too far away. Not enough energy. Ready yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. I can't do that yet. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. I don't have enough energy. But the ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. Not ready yet. Not enough energy. Energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have
Best job in the world.
Not enough energy. I don't have
White
enough
Arctic
energy.
fox
I don't have a
in
target.
Western Greenland. Look at this. Look at how close it comes. Never witnessed an Arctic fox coming that close. Absolutely phenomenal.
Not enough energy. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy.
After more than 2 months of filming, the Wild Canadian Year team captured a first, footage of a wild lynx hunting a snowshoe hare. Everyone knew this was going to be one of the series' most difficult shoots. Up for the challenge was Canadian cameraman Sam Ellis, who went to the Yukon to see if he could film these elusive animals. The plan was to search for lynx tracks and follow them to find the animals.
These tracks here to the left were here yesterday, and now we have all these other ones here.
But the lynx were incredibly elusive.
We play this game of cat and mouse. I didn't get any footage today, but I was probably snowshoeing with 3 cats for about 4 hours.
So Sam tries another approach. Here, some of the lynx have radio collars, and Sam got permission from the scientists to tune in. While Sam knows where the lynx are, he still can't see them. The bush is so thick, the lynx can keep out of sight if they want to.
I think the most frustrating thing about these cats is they're so elusive that even with the telemetry, even when we know they're right in front of us, we still can't find them sometimes. They're just that good at being hidden.
But there's one lynx that is beginning to make himself visible to Sam. A male the researchers call Mad Max. Slowly, day by day, Mad Max is learning to trust Sam.
He's comfortable enough, you can see He's actually going to sleep. He does not see us as a threat. It's amazing to be this close to a wild Canadian lynx and knowing that we're not disrupting his natural behavior.
Their unique relationship opens a window into the world of the lynx that no one has had before. It's one thing to be close to Max when he's resting, but it's another to get close when he's hunting.
I've seen him chase 2 rabbits today and missed the opportunity twice.
But then, Mad Max suddenly realized that having Sam around could work to his advantage.
Today, Mad Max, he became even more comfortable with me than he has before. We've always had to use the telemetry to find out where he is, and then once we find him, he's okay with me being around. Today, he was making himself visible, kind of coming up to me, kind of saying like, I'm here, and then kind of walking in front of me, kind of luring me, and I'm like, okay. And I always kind of had a feeling he might like me around because I could be spooking rabbits, so it kind of works in his benefit.
It's just a typical Sunday, taking my cat for a morning walk.
But it's still a struggle to get the camera in the right place at the right time. And keeping up with the natural pace of a wild lynx is no easy feat. Max glides easily across the snow, whereas Sam breaks through with every step. After 2 months of grueling effort, Sam still has nothing. As close as they've become, Sam is no match for Max in this snowy world. And then, one day Sam finally gets a break.
It was brilliant. I came down and I saw this rabbit in this wide open meadow. The cat was stalking left, but I thought there's no way he doesn't see this rabbit right in front of me. So I set the camera down and started rolling on this rabbit. The cat did this big J stroke all the way around into the meadow, and the rabbit was completely oblivious. He started coming right towards the camera. He got like within 3 feet before the rabbit even took off, and then they both came running. They ran right by the camera at a super high speed, slow motion. I was just hoping not to shake the camera and lose the focus. I think it was the best day of my life.
It took a special form of determination and a remarkable relationship between cat and cameraman to finally claim this wildlife film first.
Justin wins the challenge, wins a second one. And he wanted Seaman to come in instead. Actually, he takes it by himself. He's over the top of another. He's taken 3 players by himself. Can he go the whole way? Ty will keep it out. And Garrett's shot is good enough. And Justin, bump shot, goal.
Oh, Justin. He's done it again. It was against Ty, not Tyler in the last game. Now it's against Jacob. Not only does he bump him out the net.
Gave Wonder a chance to move in.
They'll never get it anyway. Conquering the impossible. All with a smile on our face. Grind all day, we dance all night. When body freaks on nature, when body freaks. Grind all day, we dance all night. When body freaks on nature, when body freaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series. I'm your host, Leafex, alongside me, Gibbs and James. Now joining in to talk about that last match. We watched 2 before you guys got to see us last. We're going to talk about a few more matches, and then you get to watch some more Rocket League. But right now, we're going to touch NRG versus 72 PC. James, this is a little one-sided, but I guess expected.
It's NRG, you know. NRG they had a rough week 1 in the grid, but other than that, they have been playing really well ever since they brought Squishy on board, and it just looked like NRG being NRG this entire series.
This just wasn't fair. I just felt like it just wasn't fair for Wonder. Like, we're going to sit back, play some defense, and then Justin's like, nuh-uh, we're not doing any of that. I'm going to demo over and over and over. It's like, or make a fantastic dribble play, and then what does he do? He goes into the net, demos, and still scores a goal. He was on fire throughout this series. It just felt like NRG was firing on all cylinders, and this is what I wanted to see. Like, we knew NRG would win, but you always want to see them do it convincingly so you can see their form when they're going to take on tougher opponents, which we'll see next round.
And it's even funny to think about the NRG back in the day when Jacob was on the squad. They would even have those games and those series where they'd always control but never would run up the score. So to see them have that ability to just run up the score, as a fan of NRG, it's always good to see.
Well, let's take a look at the standings now as we have a couple rounds underway. Just a few more to go, 3 more rounds to go. A couple teams are ready to qualify, though. Version 1, Team NV, G2 Esports, NRG will be in their next round. 2 teams already qualified to next week, Gibbs.
Yes, not yet. During this round of 3, we will get those matches and we'll see who plays who. But we see the top 4 teams from the RLCS that were in this group. They're all 2-0. There's really no surprises at this point right now. So version 1, they looked pretty good. And Alpine's been a little bit shaky. That's why their seed was a little bit worse. But the only team they lost to was one of those top 4. So right now, all the RLCS teams are looking great. It's just going to come down to, we have some important games now where you're 2-0. We saw this yesterday with E United. If you lose, you still have to find a win somewhere else down the line. So just don't get too demoralized by a loss here.
Well, let's take a look at our next matches coming up. As Gibbs said, we're going into round number 3 now. Some teams will be qualifying and some teams will be going home. Their journey ended right now and not being able to make it to next week. They'll have to try again next regional. But the matches you'll have on this broadcast here on twitch.tv/Rocket League, we'll have Team Envy versus NRG coming up second. And then the first one will be G2 versus version 1. So these qualifying matches. And then over on the E-League broadcast, twitch.tv/ELeagueTV, you have Frontline versus Omland and Alpine versus Pittsburgh Knights. James, just for that Envy versus NRG match, do you have any? That's a big one.
Hey,
and the way NRG looked.
Yeah, we just had this matchup on the grid, and you know, me and Dazarin, we cast for NRG, and then Stax and Jorby cast for Envy, and so we like to trash talk probably more than the players themselves. So we were really excited to get into that Envy and NRG matchup, and it was a crazy series in the grid, very close. And I expect that, you know, anytime NRG and Envy play, it could go either way. But one thing is for sure, it's going to be entertaining.
Well, let's talk about the first match that's coming up then. Gibbs, G2 versus version 1. Again, a qualifying match here. G2's looking hot. We saw them in the grid, starting to look good again. They were on a bit of a slump for a while there. But again, at the pre-show, we talked, I feel like that's just what G2 does. But now they're looking pretty good here. And version 1 still trying to find their footing again with AXB on the roster.
On Thursday, G2 versus version 1 for the grid, it went to 5 games. I expect a close series, but it's only if Gimmick plays well. He played well in that series, and they still lost. And the problem is, right now with Gimmick, it seems like it's a coin flip. Is he playing well, or is he not? So it's going to come down to, I think, early on, watch Gimmick and see how he's playing. Maybe he can carry this team to a victory. If not, I think G2 walks away pretty easily here.
Well, James, I know who you have for that Team Envy versus NRG one, but for G2 versus version 1, who do you think is coming up victorious and making it to stage number 2?
G2 all the way. The way that Rizzo's been playing has been incredible. Also, Chicago, he has been very physical lately, going for a lot of bumps, a lot of demos. And when G2 starts swarming, it's really scary, especially with JNaps and his ability to shoot. He has not lost his scoring edge. They're all out in that gaming house together. The synergy's starting to get back up there. G2 is a team that I would not want to go against right now.
Well, the match is about ready, and we're going to find out who's qualifying of round 3. Get online on Twitter, hashtag RLCSX at RL Esports, so we can see your tweets. Give energy to your teams, G2 or version 1. Who's it going to be? Let's head to the Skybox to find out.
Thank you so much, Leaf Achieves. We've got some old royalty here. Gonna be going head-to-head. G2 taking on the new and improved V1. Squishy moving over to NRG has been replaced by AXB on this roster, and they have a new name. I am excited to watch this match go down.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great one. But at the same time, I think the desk is right. You got to favor G2 a little bit. I think AXB was a good pickup overall to replace Squishy. I feel like I said yesterday, he feels a lot of the same roles. He's got great support and great offensive capability, especially considering his massive level up from last season. So I know it's been a bit of a rough start here for version 1, but I still think this is going to be a good match.
We've got G2 in the orange, version 1 in the blue, a best of 5. And these teams both at 2-0. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about that. I'm pretty sure that's true. It means one of them is qualifying for next weekend. Here comes AXB. Gets Rizzo on the wall, detaches to block. Gimmick has an open net in front of him, but a difficult angle to hit and can't quite sneak it into that upper corner. And now JNaps out with Chicago in front of him. Chicago goes for the bump, gets it, and he'll steal the goal too. That's G2 on the board.
And they catch him on transition here. Got a little too aggressive, didn't get a piece of it there, and it's just a long drive back. And AXB doing his best, but what can you do in the 2-on-1 scenario? Chicago's got him squared up. And just for good measure, he'll make sure he takes the goal away as well.
And that one's mine, thank you very much. 4:05 on the clock now. First minute going to give G2 the lead. JNaps now through the air. No. This one looks good as well. 2-0 just off the kickoff.
Disaster of a challenge as this one just went back into the corner. Gimmick up early and went just a few pixels too high, and then the demo came through in the opposite corner, so no chance. And again, version 1 Oof, it's not looking good 1 minute in. Right now, the desk looking real smart.
Just gotta just chill out just a little bit, settle in. Like their coordinated balance. You hit the shot. Torment tried there through the air not to get it. Didn't quite get it though. I appreciate the coordination on the paint schemes. All running pearlescent purple with something else here. It's not very often we see teams try to create their own in-game uniform if they don't actually have one. G2 has uniforms. They're not wearing them. Come on, guys.
They did the same thing. They all went red with either black or white.
They gave themselves a uniform. I like it. Here comes Gimmick into the corner. Chicago now over the top of AXB. Torment was actually cheated up pretty far. They're both going to be falling back here, and this should give G2 some nice possession out in front of the ball. There's AXB now to put it back away, and JNap's into the corner off the backboard. Looks for a double tap, and they're not going to quite get it between the posts. Here comes Rizzo. Back towards the box. Gimmick will trap it on the wall. Chicago's going to have low boost to work with, but nobody home. The goalie gets bumped out, and Chicago's got a free net in front of him.
And that makes 3 goals in a row now for G2, where they get the goal just because someone's been demoed and there's been no way to recover after that. Just losing the challenge in the corner, and G2 forcing open real estate, and they move right in.
3 minutes left, 3 goals down. Version 1's got their work cut out for them. Is this the start of it? No, it's just a bit high. Demolition on Rizzo did open up some space. Now AXB looks for the pass to Gimmick. He's up for it, but blocked in front of the goal. Now Chicago versus Torment. Neutral to the side. JNap's over the top of Torment, and Chicago will turn back in. Collapsed on by AXB. The ball heads towards the box. Rizzo beaten. Chicago holding onto it on his own backboard. Takes it to the corner. Torment will challenge, and JNap's will find a clear out of the box all the way down the entire length of the pitch. AXB on the fallback is not quite able to reach it twice now, and Gimmick has to try and collapse for him. There's Rizzo and Chicago in front of the box. They're not going to miss too much pressure. 4-0. G2 is running away with it.
And it's 4 straight. They got another bump on the goal line. Look at Rizzo. Oh, wait, no. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. I thought he hit Torment. That's why Torment was out of position. Never mind. I'm completely wrong. Torment just was slightly off.
He zoned him out. Torment had to move to avoid the bump, and that did the job. And now across halftime, G2 running away with game number 1. This one is cleanly, that there would be a unprecedented collapse were they to lose this game. And they're going to try and run the score up.
If you manage to lose 4-0, even with 2 minutes left, considering how well they're playing, that actually would be a catastrophic meltdown.
It's Rizzo, the top of Chicago. AXB will just crank one to the net. No one's home. That's the start. They've got time. We'll see.
It does make it feel a little more doable. I mean, and they get a little bit of G2's medicine going for them. Gimmick with a bump on, I believe it was JNap's. Just push him off the back line. So version 1, like you said, they've got time. 3 goals, just under 2 minutes. Unlikely, but definitely possible.
Well, if there's 3 players experienced with playing from behind, lots of veteranship on this roster, newly playing together here with the addition of AXB, but Torment and Gimmick have been in this situation plenty of times. Torment and Gimmick, part of that Cloud9 roster from Season 6 that broke the North American World Championship drought. First team to win it since Season 1 from North America. Oh, and Torment will get that. My goodness. The poor people cannot sit in their own box.
No, there is no way to play defense. Torment starts edging forward because he thinks AXB is going to win that ball. He realizes that AXB is beat, hits the brakes, and then, of course, someone rotates out from behind him in his own corner, shoves him out of the way, and that's 5 straight.
And that they're simply just outclassing them. That version 1 right now has 6 shots to 1 goal. G2 has 7 shots to 5. They've only missed twice or been blocked twice. 1 got saved. There's 1 unaccounted for shot. Here comes Chicago over the top. Gimmick will get a save on that one. JNap's up for it to drop another one towards the other corner. Torment gets there this time, but a small double commit. AXB now to try and buy his new teammates time.
Yeah, dude, these ones aren't going in because they're not bumping the guy who can make the save out of the way.
Torment now into this corner once more. Kind of just kills this. He has no boost. He's going to look for the back pass. Rizzo over the top of 1. Now Chicago, a bit of space. Had he been able to put it on target, that would have been a 6th goal. It's been a long time, I feel like, since we've had a Brazil in a league play format.
I actually can't remember the last time.
Yeah, I think one happened at a world championship recently, but not at this level of play. There's 13 seconds left. They can do it.
That's a banger too. Nice quick transition. Chicago getting sideways away from the challenger. And then AXB is just trying to figure out if he needs to go for it or not. It takes 1 second too long, and JNaps just goes right up the pitch. So yeah, G2, this is a dominating game one. There's really nothing else to say about this.
They've made a statement for sure, but can they continue to back it up? Game one, when it's a blowout like this, oftentimes game two will be quite the stalemate. So we'll see how things get tightened up here for version one. Obviously, plenty of experience there in adjusting in the middle of a series from this roster of AXB, Gimmick, and Torment. AXB scoring the only goal and getting 5 shots, leading the team in stats in this first game in a losing effort. But the story of game number one, Achieves, really was the physical play from G2 in the enemy box.
Oh yeah, it's very similar to what we saw last week from Europe and a couple of teams. It's just, get behind them, smash them out of the way, make a move, and you score goals. It's a very simple strategy, and it's not a bad strategy. I think I got a little bit of flack because I was giving Vitality flack for not being very creative. Well, this isn't very creative either. I don't care how creative it is. I care that it works. I mean, and G2 nailed it.
Yeah, well, version one, the kind of the reimagined Cloud9, a team you used to chastise for their vanilla style of play. It did work for them though as well. Vanilla does get the job done sometimes.
There's nothing wrong with vanilla ice cream. It's tasty. I'm just saying. Every now and again, you got to do something different. And JNaps delivers.
He gets a nice shot here, but I feel like this came off of Rizzo onto the backboard. AXB just doesn't touch it. JNaps has the free read. Doesn't have to adjust at all for the defense. That's goal number 1, 6 seconds in. G2 continues to build on this momentum. Now AXB off the ceiling to try and take this one himself. Nice and soft under JNaps. Rizzo will cover it up to the side, pass to Chicago, clears back down the field, back on the offense. Torment now trying to control this one. Rizzo slows down, gives it for JNaps. Now AXB back to Gimmick. Onto the side wall, turned around. Bit of confusion from G2 in the midfield. They overlap each other, but a quick cover up from the third man will do the trick. And now JNaps out to Chicago. That got 2 players. Here comes Rizzo up against Gimmick. This one neutral down the midfield, and JNaps will have lots of space. Can he find Rizzo? No, he goes through it himself. AXB with the stop, but here's Chicago to shoot just dead center. 2-0 G2.
What are you supposed to do with this? First, this is a great touch from JNaps. The recovery is perfect. But from AXB's perspective, what else can you do?
He's trapped on the post.
You can't let that bounce off the wall because you don't have the time to back up. He's got to try and make the touch there. I mean, AXB just got tied up off a crazy challenge that just pinged off his teammate's car on the sidewall. Truly unfortunate for version 1. Gimmick trying to get it back off the kickoff, but nothing going.
Oh, man. And JNaps out of boost. That might be the only saving grace here. They'll try to get the pass off. It's going to take too many touches. Version 1 will be able to get back on defense. They won't get the breakaway third goal. But at this point, they don't need it. G2's doing so much. Double demolition could help, but the ball, man, they take 2 touches just to try and get it back to midfield. The demolitions aren't going to matter. The ball doesn't even leave the back third. G2 gets demoed twice. Version 1 can't even get it out of their own half by themselves.
They have a little bit of room to work with, but JNaps immediately just took that right back.
That's in. Oh, his save, is it still in? No, okay.
This is tough. AXB's having to put in the work on the goal line here in game 2, and sometimes he's been able to get it done. Other times the situation is just 2 against him. In version 1, here we go. There's at least a little bit of ball control, but not able to hang on to it for too long.
Chicago with the back pass to JNaps, used the offenders to help him out. AXB tries to slow this one down. Chicago tried to take the ball control, but look at the decision there from Chicago. Immediately going for players the moment he's missed the ball. And Rizzo off the back wall falls and kind of dishes it in. What a play.
Oh, Torment. He's stuck here on the goal line, and he's thinking, nah, man, Rizzo doesn't have that. But he also misreads it. He also thought that ball was going to be bouncing a little bit further out, and he planned to catch it, and it went behind him. So even if Rizzo misses that, Torment still doesn't come up with that touch, and they're still going to be boxing in their own half. Just a beautiful shot from Rizzo, and Torment didn't think he could even get there.
Approaching halftime, it's the same story as game number 1. G2 up to a 3-goal lead already. and completely shutting out version 1 so far. Only 1 goal on the series for them. Can they make it 2 right now? No. Gimmick now. Maybe the pass to XB just stalls in the midfield, and Rizzo happy to collapse on it. JNAP's now the pass to Chicago. He's up for it. Nobody's home. That's going to be a 4th one. G2 continues to dominate.
This one's just a product of placement. The challenge goes into a neutral territory. JNAPS puts it across, and Gimmick knows this is a matter of does he put it in the right spot? And yes, he does. Gimmick trying to race back, and the only place he can't get to is that top left corner, and Chicago delivers a perfect ball.
G2 is nasty right now.
It's
and version 1
gross.
is honestly giving them, though, the space to do it. They're not making it hard on them. Gimmick with the attempt there. Rizzo to the side, AXB to the back wall. JNAPS looking for the pass across on the infield. There's a block. Version 1 finally intercept one of the passes. Rizzo up against AXB. Nice play across. Chicago flips their own direction. We'll not worry about it. JNAPS now into the air. Tries to get another touch. Torment put it through 1. Chicago with a response. Now AXB taking this one slow, hoping that his teammate that's upfield has time to bump goalies. But G2 managed to dodge all the bumps and get the ball back to midfield. Push it into the blue. Gimmick's uncontested on this touch, but just lofts it. Now Rizzo to the edge. Chicago to chase this one and kind of forced Gimmick into the touch Chicago was trying to make. Ball spending a lot of time high in the midfield. JNAPS to pinch this one up above the goal. Here comes Chicago versus AXB.
Wow.
AXB's looking for the bumps. We keep version 1's trying to do what G2's been doing. They'll catch the ball in midfield, slow down for a second, and let one of the players get upfield, look for bumps. But it's just too telegraphed. It's too obvious what they're trying to do.
Exactly. It's taking just a little too long to develop, and they don't have the forward positioning and the ability to get players off that goal line to take them out of the play over on that G2 side. So version 1, it's not a bad idea. It's a good idea. And what is this from JNAPS out of the corner? Rizzo just gets a piece of one over AXB. JNAPS, yeah, no problem. I can go get that.
Jeez. What are you talking about? Like, they're already done. You've already killed them. The game's over. And JNAPS is like, cool, I watched this just in case you guys forgot. I don't even need this goal, but it's probably the prettiest goal of the series so far. 5-0. G2 currently outscoring version 1 in the series 11-1. As AXB's going to try and make it 11-2. It's not quite on target. Rizzo clears it to the side. 30 seconds left. Here comes Rizzo. JNAPS now. Pass to 1. Torment to the back wall. And Chicago with a clear over 1. So, version 1 here, losing 2 games in a row. They're now down to match point. And again, these are the teams playing at 2-0. Winner of this series goes through to tomorrow. We saw in this match yesterday at Chiefs, it was Space Station versus E United. Space Station won, and then E United didn't manage to get the win at all. E United went 3 games down by themselves. It was a problem. So, yeah, like the E United not able to get the win there. I'm worried the same thing might happen here for version 1. So we will get through to the next game here momentarily, and this one will be a lot of fun. I've enjoyed watching G2 play though. They're just an absolute masterclass in performance. Able to put so many things together. And chat, it's just you and me. It's just you and me right now. How you guys doing? Happy to have you guys here. I think G2 at this point is also the longest running North American roster. They are, because Cloud9 broke up, NRG has made a roster change. At this point, I'm pretty sure. Someone can correct me, but I'm pretty sure G2 is the longest running North American team here. And this is their season. Last season was their season. They weren't able to quite pull off a world championship because we didn't have one. But this season, if there's ever been a time when they could do it again, it would be this one. I'm excited for it. So let's go. We are going to be getting into this match here, this third match here in just a moment. I'm going to be trying to get Achieves back here. Just a moment. You guys bear with us. And Achieves, can you hear me? Hold on, you cannot hear me yet. He cannot, but he's about to. You guys aren't going to believe why, because I'm not going to tell you. It's pretty crazy. Achieves, my friend. Hello. How are you?
I'm well.
Wonderful. We have made this work again.
I'm glad to be back.
So, tell me your thoughts about these two teams.
Well,
finish my monologue.
Well, the previous game, I mean, it really was just a wash, rinse, repeat. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, a little too telegraphed on the offense. A lot of missed touches from version 1 that's just slowing the offense down even further. It's making it too easy for G2 to have a lot of space to really do whatever they want. Not to mention the fact that they're hitting great redirects and winning a lot of the challenges in the midfield that version 1 just can't seem to get a hold of. So game 3, you're really looking for just the challenge game to improve a little bit from version 1, see if they can get some more chances and go from there. And indeed, it happens. AXP just stuffs one in the midfield, and Gimmick has an open goal.
I'm not gonna lie, Gimmick's touch here is scary to me. This he almost puts it out. Like, just let AXP have the goal at that point. Like, I don't. He probably thought a goalie was coming in. Hey. That's their second goal. They need to start scoring at this point. It's their first lead of the series. Take what you can get. Version 1 finally on top. Let's see how they play now with the lead.
It is always actually a very interesting thing to see how a team that's been losing plays with the lead. Do they get more aggressive? Do they start having more success? And it seems like yes for now, because this is just an awkward ball in the G2 box. JNABS just gets beat. Chicago, AXB, they clash at the middle of the box, and AXB understands exactly how that challenge is coming off Chicago's car. Doesn't get pulled into the jump battle, just lets him ping it right back off his nose, and it stays right there on the goal line.
We are now at a 2-0 lead. Version 1, can they make it 3-0? There's a stop. Over 2. Now AXB back down and into the midfield. Gimmick to try. JNAP's now up. Demolitions galore. Can they find it? They sure can. My goodness, they have made it a 3v1, and Chicago's able to put it through.
Oh, that's a classic one. Why did these go in? Because demos. Boom, boom. Win the ball. Pass to mid. Next question. G2 cuts the lead in half. It's hard for them to defend
when they don't exist, Achieves. 3:02 on the clock now. A neutral challenge there. Rizzo's touch nearly going to just go straight in. And it's a 1-goal game. G2 light them up with fireworks to get that first goal. Make it a 1-goal game. Gimmick into the corner. AXB, a nice extension to midfield. Demolition again. But this time, the challenge in the midfield on the front line defense going to be strong. Make that demolition not matter. Torment wins a nice one. JNAPS gets up in the air before he can get bumped out of the way, but AXB chasing in net, nearly finds a way to tuck it in.
Nice. Good job there from Rizzo, just taking that ball back across the corner instead of letting it roll, because he knows it's a dangerous spot to be in. And now version 1's offense definitely speeding up here, as that one just off the mark. Gimmick going for the back post shot. It's the right move, just didn't quite get it in between the goalposts.
Gimmick pushing it over 1. JNAPS now through the edge. AXB in the corner. 2 minutes left in the game. Version 1 with the task of reverse sweeping a hot G2. They've got the lead in game 3. This is step number 1. And they're looking to try and extend that lead. Some nice carries into the box, but G2's able to move it out just fine. Ooh. Excellent touch from Rizzo. Chicago get through too as well, making them like Swiss cheese, but Torment just barely gets the save before getting demolished. On the nick of time, Chicago gets bumped by AXB and won't be able to create a play. And then Rizzo bumps Chicago in the midfield, and yet somehow they stay up on offense. Here comes JNAPS, goal to play, off the post and out. What a save. Version 1 holds on to their lead.
Torment and Gimmick both making a couple of big stops in some very difficult scenarios. G2 definitely with some great command of the ball in that final third. They did just give it up here, though, so we'll see if version 1 can extend the lead, get a big insurance goal. With a minute left, they're going for those demos on the goal line again, but AXB and Gimmick have got out of the way of him now.
Version 1 is slowly adapting, becoming more difficult to bump. They're keeping their eyes wide out of their peripherals. That one's into the backfield. Rizzo demolished actually will work out in G2's favor here. He spawns deep in the third man. And now Chicago lofts it over 1. They go for the bump on the other. No, it's actually wide. Gimmick was tucked far enough back in the goal that he was undemoable. Now Rizzo onto the backboard once more. Got 2 players up. Torment will hold on to it, and he's going to just try and kill this ball. Cloud9, former roster here, very good at killing time. AXB gets a great save of a high drop shot. Gimmick now versus JNAPS. Back down the field, looking for security. AXB in the back. Rizzo to JNaps. Soft touch, just barely high. Follow up to Chicago, though. Will go in. That's the tie game. JNaps puts it through.
And that all comes back off of Gimmick mis-executing a pass. He was letting the ball roll, getting that extra space into that G2 side, but then he just didn't get the power on the pass across, and G2 stole it away and turned it up the field under pressure again on the counterattack. And version 1 crumbled with 21 on the clock.
18 seconds left. G2 needs 1 goal to sweep version 1. We saw United drop their chance at the 2-0 mark and then go on to drop their next 2 chances and not qualify in Group A. Version 1, you'd hate to see the same thing happen to them. Looks like overtime, though. If AXB and Gimmick don't put it away right here.
Ooh.
Where comes Torment? He's going to be off the target, and Chicago should let this one die. Overtime in game 3. G2, 1 goal away from next week.
And Chicago took a big risk there, trying to poke that one across, but they get through into overtime, and Rizzo cannot get the ball through Torment, and now they're putting the pressure on JNaps on the back wall, but JNaps definitely made a good name for himself as one of the most staunch defenders in the North American scene, and AXB denied by Chicago again on the goal line.
Now advancing to midfield, Gimmick to try and turn this one around. Rizzo, what a read, and into the corner now. He's going to take the boost as well. AXB's just trying to stall out. 2 players up. Chicago's there. AXB manages to block it and send it to the edge. Now back high. Here comes Gimmick to the backboard. That'll be version 1 taking a game. We'll go to game 4.
All right, they get 1 on the board and a well-deserved one. They played pretty well here. Torment wins the challenge. Rizzo's just a little bit late, and Gimmick makes sure that it gets all the way around him because it's very easy to get lazy with that shot because the goal looks so big when the guy's coming at you from the left-hand side. But if he goes towards the middle of the goal to that left side, there's no way that Rizzo doesn't get a piece of it. So Gimmick not complacent. And Gibbs said Gimmick might be able to carry him to a win here, and he did so here in game 3. 3 goals on 4 shots, and Torment and AXB definitely pulling their weight. The save column doesn't show it, but I think Torment and AXB had a wonderful defensive showing here in this one to stop G2 from pulling out the broomsticks.
Yeah, and that first goal was really AXB's goal that Gimmick stole and nearly screwed. So version 1 here. Gimmick, though, definitely coming alive in this game and helping carry his team to a victory there. 9 shots for their 3 goals. And I think the biggest thing we saw, the biggest change we saw was their ability to dodge the demolitions, their ability to there were moments where you could see G2 was downfield looking for players to demo. They were able to get out of their way and make the saves. Not as we saw a few goals get scored on demolitions, but not as many. We didn't see G2 just get to run away with that.
Yeah, definitely a real nice job. The adjustments that you talked about at the start of this one, definitely getting used to the demo approach, and they definitely were able to stop having that happen to them quite as much. But we'll see if that continues, because we saw that, was it yesterday? Or was it last week with one of the teams in Europe where they were able to adjust to the demo strats, and then they just couldn't quite have the same effect on offense? I'm trying to remember if that was even yesterday. It's like they talked about, it all kind of blurs together when you've got this West Rocket League going on.
It does happen, but it is a key characteristic of an RLCS quality team, the ability to adapt mid-game. Rocket League, the improvisers esport. Over the top of 1, Torment. Now looking for AXB. He's reached for it and bounces it off the ceiling into the goal. Chicago has to make a save, and now Rizzo looking for the transition. He's very loose on the connection, though, and JNaps will get demolished on the far side, leaving Chicago alone. It's an excellent touch, but Gimmick has it red, and now it's back into the orange once more. JNaps back down, and AXB will take a shot. Rizzo's got the save on the bicycle touch. And demolitions in goal as well. Version 1 starting to play G2's
Gimmick.
game. They pave the way and get the first goal.
Gimmick entered into that backfield I don't know, 5 maybe 10 seconds before this replay started, and he was literally doing nothing but bumping, stealing corner boosts, bumping again, challenging, and then finally got the ball into the middle and they scored.
4-11. Version 1, another bump onto Chicago, manages to recover and get a save on a ball that most likely wasn't going in anyways, but still nice touch. At the top of Gimmick. Torment, excellent touch from his corner all the way down. This was another thing that I felt version 1 needed to improve on in games 1 and 2. They were taking too much contact to get the ball out of their field and give themselves scoring opportunities. But what is happening here? What was this just absolute catastrophe?
Well, it's definitely a real awkward situation here for G2. AXB makes a good touch trying to go for the wall. Chicago and Gimmick both think the other person is getting to the ball first. And so neither of them take a real clean approach, and AXB is able to rotate back out of the corner you just landed in and make the adjustment to put the goal away.
That was a spaghetti junction. Too many players right on top of each other.
Spaghetti junction.
338.
Always something new with you, Wave Punk. You put a smile on my face every day.
Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia. JNAP down the field. Torment's going to just take the shot from the middle. Gimmick was trying to pound the goalies who weren't quite there. Chicago's managed to get back just in time. And version 1 now up by 2. This 2-goal lead was enough to get them to overtime in game number 3. Is it enough to get them a win again here? G2 having to start opening up the artillery from midfield instead of looking to just take away the back line. Adjusting and trying a new offensive strategy. So far, it hasn't given them any goals.
He's still keeping that horizontal movement on their own half, and AXB with a good mark, and there's that classic demo. Gimmick has to give up space, but able to understand where the next touch is headed and get up the wall early after dodging the bump.
Oh, that's some players piled up. That'll be a goal. JNAP's going to get that one to the far side. Too many players trying to play defense at the same time.
And Gimmick knew it too. He rotates into goal, sees that pop into the middle, and immediately jumps. And the sad part is, the Gimmick played that perfectly. The dive across the goal, jumping early, it's the right move, because if it goes high in the net, he can make the adjustment in time. If it's low, there's a good chance the Dominus gets a piece of it because it's so big. But unfortunately, that ball just squeezed right out of the wheels.
We saw G2 make the comeback in the second half of game number 4 here, or in game number 3. Here in game number 4, they've already got themselves a 1-goal differential here. They got a lot more time now to tie this up than they did in game number 3. Can they make it work and possibly get the win, finish it off here in 4 games? Or are we going to overtime again? Is version 1 going to possibly find a 3rd regulation goal? They have yet to score 3 goals in regulation time in this series. Chicago passed 1, and now flicking the pass 2 up to JNAP. Small touch over Torment. That leaves 1 defender in the back as the 3rd rotates back around. They played off to the side. JNAP's going to keep it high. They're keeping it away from version 1, but not really giving it to themselves either here. There's a touch. Gimmick going to get it over the top of 1, and Rizzo will just guide the ball off to the corner.
And you say they're definitely, you know, making the touches. It's kind of keep away, but it's keep away just to see what the defense gives you, because they know that they didn't really place the balls where they wanted to, so they're trying to just make a touch on the ball, see what the defense does, and adjust from there. And that's exactly why this game is an improviser's esport. You don't have the luxury of always being able to do exactly what you want in any given scenario. And G2, you know, it's throwing the pasta at the wall and seeing what sticks sometimes.
There's Gimmick on the ball. JNAP's behind him. Now AXB being met by Chicago. Rizzo into the corner here. JNAP's now up all by himself. He's not going to be able to put it on target, but he gives it to Chicago. Is it? Oh my goodness, the placement is beautiful, and they tie the game.
That is 100% placement. You are absolutely correct. JNAP's with a beautiful pass into the middle. Gimmick's got the top left, probably even the bottom right, but Chicago goes top right corner with a beautiful catch on the ball. And what are you going to do if you're version 1? It's either perfect or you save it. And that's twice in this series now. Chicago's been perfect.
Well, G2 was able to come back in game 3 and tie it up, but lost it in overtime. Can they finish this one off in regulation? Here comes another opportunity. JNAP's onto the back wall. 1 player already up. They've got the defense kind of haphazardly mixed up on top of themselves, but they get a solid clear on the back of Torment. Now Rizzo up against AXB. Wonderful pinch. Chicago demolishing his own back 3rd. AXB now looking for bumps. JNAP's will meet the ball before he gets touched. Takes the boost, now looks for Torment from underneath. It kind of half rotates around, leaving the goalies lots of time just to read the situation. 20 seconds left. Tied up at 2 apiece. G2 on match point. JNAP's onto the wall. Bounce up high. Rizzo looks for an excellent touch. Gimmick's got the save. Do they have a follow-up? No, the ball just stays glued to the backboard. They'll look for some goalies, but Gimmick comes in to get it away. Gimmick keeping V1 alive. G2 turns around. 1 second. No time on the clock. Torment wants to finish it off in regulation. Chases it down himself. Rizzo's covering him up.
Could be
Here
game.
comes Chicago. It could be disastrous if they kept it up. No. Oh, the touch in.
Yep.
G-Nap puts it in for the buzzer beater. That's G2 sending V1 to the next round, and G2 advances.
You knew there was a chance as soon as Rizzo won that ball, and all Chicago had to do was not drill it into the ground. He knew he had J-Naps coming up behind him. A nice catch off the backboard to get it back into the middle. J-Naps right on top of it. Version 1 rotated back. It was always going to be a tough play, and you're just kind of hoping against hope that they don't execute perfectly. And again, G2 aced it. And, you know, Rizzo, he didn't have a big score line in this last game, but definitely the most critical play. And overall, I think in the series, Rizzo, while we were sitting here fawning over J-Naps and Chicago's ability to shoot the ball and be perfect, Rizzo was a phenomenal third cog in that machine where I've always been a little hit or miss on how Rizzo played, but I think he was a phenomenal support here in this series.
Now, there have been times in G2's career where the analysts considered Rizzo to be somewhat of a liability on G2. It was like, will he be consistent? Will he choke the important touches? And this was a beautiful example of just how much this team has settled together. Rizzo absolutely played his part perfectly. It's not represented on the scoreboard here, but there was no moment I could think of where I was like, man, Rizzo made the wrong touches. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of touches he made that were not going to be ones that show up on the scoreboard, but were genuinely the V touch that enabled the offense to stay together like that. I loved watching it. G2 is so solid, and they will play again next week. So that's gonna do it for that match. And the next one we've got coming up at Chiefs is just as juicy. NRG taking on Envy. Turbo Pulsa playing against his old roster. Who's gonna take it down? We'll find out in just a moment on RLCSX.
Feel my arms holding on so tight just when you need it most. Feel the freedom of being careless, just being in love. Everything will be alright. Through the darkness, through the night, no fear anymore. No fear anymore. No fear anymore.
back and just watched G2 eventually dismantle version 1. It looked like it was going to be a complete blasting after the first 2 games of Chiefs, but version 1 definitely bounced back and made a great series out of it in the last 2 games. Yeah.
Big time, and I just realized I muted it. Hangouts.
Can't hear you.
So anyway, G2 played really well games 1 and 2. I think that would be a great series if it went into a further one. So a rematch where it's 7 games would be a fun one is basically my point.
This one would be a fun one. I enjoyed that series. I'm excited to watch more version 1 as the day progresses here. They will get 2 more opportunities to qualify. I am a little nervous because what happened with United yesterday, but like it'll be fine. They're different teams. There's no reason it should be the same. It'll be just fine. But yes, version 1 looks good. I love seeing AXB playing amongst his heroes. Like this is one of those, like, AXB I thought was one of the best players on Space Station, but he got overshadowed by those other players, and it becomes almost a nuisance to be. And it's like, we came up together. Why do you think you're better than me? Sort of situation. Versus when you're playing along players that you have literally looked up to before you were a pro, it's going to motivate you to play in your best. I think we can see a new AXB that we've never seen before with him being on this version 1 roster. And genuinely, he was one of the most steady, consistent players in that matchup.
Yeah, I think he definitely showed everyone again why we gave him so much praise during the last season of RLCS back in Season 9. Really developing that defensive style. Obviously, his teammates over on Space Station were definitely out of their minds. And I think you're right. It's a good thing to join another new environment with a totally different... I don't want to say echelon in terms of like skill ability or anything, but like overall prestige.
It's
right?
a mentality, right?
Yeah.
It's not about the actual. It's that moment in Hoosiers when they're like on the new court and they're like, oh, this is intimidating. He's like pulls out the measuring tape. He's like, go measure the goal. It's the same height, same distance.
Yeah.
Like it's the same exact game you've been playing.
It's just who's on the pitch.
Exactly. It's a mentality you're taking into it. I think the mentality will genuinely benefit AXP now. But we did not talk at all about the matchup that we're going into right now. NRG taking on Envy. Again, both these teams at 2-0 right now. Turbo Pulsa, former teammate of Justin and Garrett G, came across the pond, gave them a world championship, and then got replaced by Squishy here. So Turbo Pulsa on Envy. Congratulations to them on being the new world champs. Excited to see them win that one here at the end of the Season X. And we're going to see this matchup go down.
And James definitely alluded to this matchup a little bit in their segment before this previous matchup. And they did play each other in the grid in the playoffs. NRG able to win in Game 5 in a 30-second overtime, 1-0. So Envy definitely out here looking for some vengeance, and Atomic with a kick out into the middle. And I'm actually really excited to see the Atomic versus Justin, who can be an absolute monster in terms of making defenses cry.
Well, so far today, it's been Justin. Holy crap, he was dead earlier. Poor 72 PC just got mauled. We'll see if Justin can keep that hot streak going. Here comes Atomic and missed, though. Created some confusion for Squishy, and they will make it work. Turbo's the one to come and scoop it up, and that's Envy on the board.
And there's that solid midfield presence Corelli was talking about on the desk with Turbo Pulsa. The timing is always great. His recognition of the play is always great. He's not the flashiest player. He's not out here gonna break your axles. He's gonna play strong, consistent Rocket League, and here he recognizes the danger, gets on top of the play early, and is able to beat NRG to the ball and make a nice save off the kickoff.
Turbo and Atomic in the tag team. This one out and into enemy territory. Advancing now to try and get a second goal. NRG trapped in their own half. Atomic go up against Squishy on the wall. Gets a pass one, but missed. Able to beat him. And Justin down the field. Turbo pinches it off the wall and now back to the mid. Garrett G with a response, looking for the soft touch above the goal. Here comes Squishy. What a pass from Garrett. Oh my goodness.
So I was kind of wondering why Mist doesn't jump, and it's because he rotates back in a goal, and he's got 21 boost, and Atomic's also already there. So they're both kind of in the same place, and neither of them is really sure how to handle this brutal bounce out of the corner and into the middle. And of course, Squishy's already there. Why wouldn't he be?
I feel like both the defenders are like, nah, he's not going to get the second touch. That was a good first touch from Gary. He's not getting the second one that's going to actually make it dangerous. We don't need to worry about this. Wait, he did. Crap, we lose. Turbo and Mist trying to advance this one back down the field after game getting tied up here. Garrett and Squishy bring that one back. Atomic looking for the double tap.
Yep.
Where was the defense? This one was free.
That was absolutely free. Justin goes for boost. Garrett and Squishy both push forward. Garrett G is third man, but missed much bringing the call back of the G2 roster. Just got behind him, bumped him out of the way, and it's a wide open goal.
Please leave. We would like to score. 2:55. Justin.
Ask and you shall receive.
I said please. Atomic now back down into the midfield, and Garrett G to cover it up to the edge. Turbo pulls and misses on the wall. Now here comes Justin, gets demolished, double demolition onto NRG here. Momentary 3v1. We'll see Justin move this one back down the pitch now on the respawn. Looks for the soft touches. Turbo has him read. Former teammates. Knows how Justin likes to play. Atomic gets a pinch off the ground, and Justin out of boost, but he'll have plenty of time. This ball, it's a nice slow roller. Garrett G now. A flick over one. Justin's looking for this corner boost. Turbo Pulse will be able to take ball control, but maybe losing some field position here. Justin, an excellent touch past one. Turbo now back into the corner again, and Turbo just continues to break up the setups from NRG. He's been instrumental in all of the plays, especially in the ones on offense here for Envy.
And it is definitely again, a huge plus of Turbo. He's just so great at reading the game. He's never going to beat you with the mechanics. You put Justin and Turbo in a one-on-one, Justin's going to win, no question. But in a team environment, that is Turbo Pulse's wheelhouse, because he understands what gaps need to be filled and where. And when it comes to shutting down an offense like NRG, who is so adept at making defenders miss and thrive off of getting the ball out of tight situations with multiple people, you need a guy like Turbo who's got that rock-solid understanding of how things play out.
Garrett G with a long one from his own goal. Justin with the slight redirect and missed to get in the way. Had the read on defense. Two players up at strange angles. Justin and Squishy overlapping there in enemy territory, but still managing to keep the ball in the blue corner. Squishy passed one.